Rory, this video is just for you to capture the special memories from when your nan and I came all the way over to visit you. You're such a busy little boy. We played Play Doh together, we danced to your favourite song, Safari Shuffle by Miss Apple, and you had so much fun checking yourself out in the GoPro camera. And I absolutely loved hearing your little Yorkie accent, the way you say, hiya! 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 While we were visiting, Nan and I were on breakfast duty. I really loved these quiet little mornings with you. After breakfast, we headed off to a car boot sale, and later we went to see the ducks at your mum's work. Such a special day. Your hometown is so cool. I love all the cattle that get to roam around freely. Nan and I took you for a walk in the morning to see the cows, and you were so excited watching them. Then, the next day, we were off to the airport. Destination Poland. On the plane, we all took turns keeping you busy, and you were such a good little traveller. Poland was so nice and hot. We headed to the city centre, and your nan made sure to take lots of photos of Liam's little Pokemon toy to send back home. We stopped for some lunch, but you were starting to get a bit fussy, so I took you for a walk in your pram and we found a big flock of pigeons. You loved watching them flutter about. Later, we went to a park. Your mum and I even went out of our way to get you an ice cream, but you weren't interested. What you really loved was playing with a little abacus. You could have stayed there all day. Today we were off to the salt mines. After a little mix up with our starting point, we finally made our way deep underground. It was absolutely beautiful, with incredible sculptures and chapels all carved out of salt. We all took turns at carrying you through the dark tunnels. You were such a little trooper on such a big adventure. Today, we set off to a place called the Happiness Museum. Really, it's where influencers go to take photos, but for you, it turned out to be the perfect playground. There were so many props to play with, a big ball pool, and even a mirror maze to get lost in. After that, we visited the creepiest little wax museum. The figures were so dodgy, we had to turn it into a game, guessing which celebrity each one was meant to be. It gave us all a good laugh. Then it was time to fly back to your hometown in England. First on the agenda was your very first proper haircut, not counting the little trim your mum once gave you at home. You absolutely hated it, but luckily it was all over quickly. Afterward, Nan and I took you to your town library where you snuggled up for a few stories. Upstairs in the museum, you had the best time playing with a little dollhouse with your Nana. Then we wandered into the art gallery, and to my surprise, there really was one of the world's biggest cow paintings. I honestly thought your dad was joking when he told me. You loved having your own little clipboard and pencil, studying the painting and making your own masterpiece. The very next day, we headed off to see the old mill. I wanted to explore it, and of course, to see the cows again. You even had a turn holding the GoPro and filming a part of this video yourself. Such a clever little cameraman.
Alright, are you going to film for me? Are you going to hold it on the camera? Ready? You got to hold two hands. Two hands. There we go. Alright, you film for me, buddy. Let's go. You got to hold it up so you can see the cows.
Cows.
Then we set off on another adventure, this time to Robin Hood's Bay. We hiked down a massive hill to reach the beach, explored the little rock pools, and treated ourselves to ice cream. Your happy dance while eating it was the cutest thing. While we waited for lunch, you grabbed the camera again to film some of your own footage. Our little filmmaker in the making. After that, we headed off to Whitby, such a magical town. Even though your mum got pooped on by a seagull and I got scammed by a gypsy, your mum and I went on a ghost tour while you stayed back with your nana. The next day, I took the hike up the 199 steps to the old cemetery on the cliff, and to my surprise, I even found Humpty Dumpty's grave. back to your hometown, Nan and I decided to give your mum and dad the day off, so we took you on a big walk to the park, and you absolutely loved it. You had so much fun on the swings and seesaw with Nana, and you nearly gave me a heart attack climbing right up to the top of the biggest slide, but you went down all by yourself with no fear at all. Later, we spent the rest of the day in your backyard, filling up your water trolley and playing with all the little sea creatures that Nan had bought you at the op shop.
Ready? Honey G, hop on too. Ready?
The next day, we took you to the aquarium, and you were in your element. You loved running from one display to the next, pressing all the buttons and peeking in at all the animals. Out of everything we saw, the penguins were the highlight. You were absolutely fascinated, and it was so much fun to watch them with you. This last bit of footage at the beach is so bittersweet. It was our very last day with you. We had a lovely picnic in the sunshine and soaked up all the cuddles we could with you. You even took me by hand for a little walk so we could dip our toes in the water and collect pretty rocks together. The next morning, your nan and I had to say goodbye. Your dad stayed home with you while your mum took us to the airport for our flight back to Australia, but it won't be long until we're all together again. Love you so much.